All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Oh, hold on. Let's do this. Yeah. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. Good morning, sports colleague. She was in the building before we started. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Miss Keita, and good morning, Miss Lisa. Blessings, blessings, and thank you for sharing. If you haven't shared yet, make sure you do so and let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. So today we are discussing what does being woke really mean. I use that kind of just as a plug or just kind of a caveat to people kind of being enlightened by information that doesn't necessarily come from credible sources. Now, I know all news it's always the most credible, but it's one thing to take from an organization that has, researchers and are held accountable for the information that they disperse, because that's the real. You got to always know that one thing about organizations, they're accountable for the information they disperse. To compared to those that are on the fringes on YouTube and things like that are not really held to the information that they disperse. Um, and they can it's easy to backtrack on your own platform when no one's really questioning you directly. So today we're talking about what does being woke really mean, or the woke community uh that used to have some meaning though. It did at one point, because especially pre-Google, folks really studied certain things and they realized certain ideas and ideals, and they were enlightened. They dropped some knowledge on you, like, oh, okay, I feel you, that's true. You know, written from books, from real doctors, and they did the research, and at least their correlations and and causalities and things that they put together made sense. And you're like, you know what? I feel you on that. But now, you know, with being able to create a cleverly put together YouTube, some good intro, some good music, some good visuals, you know, people take that certain things as being law when it's just one person's opinion and facts and things that they kind of put together to fit their narrative. And we're going to dig into that. We've kind of talked about this before, but I'm back to that because one, I watched a video. I'm gonna get into a YouTuber who challenged a well-known doctor that we all know. We probably heard the name of, and he was offering, how much was he off? $10,000 if someone can bring him some real information about this doctor. And I found that I was like, the internet high five, like, get it, brother. Challenge him. Challenge 10 G's is worth doing the work. I start digging. If I'm really believing what's being said, I'll find that information. And so I was waiting, and ultimately he got to keep his 10 G's. But we're gonna dig into that. All right. My man Kaneem is in the building. Pastor should be here. So we're gonna go ahead, kick this off. So I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you share. Make sure you tag. Let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. So without further ado, we're gonna make this thing happen. What else? What else? What else? And if you, oh, you know what I didn't do? Again. All right. My text community. Make sure you join our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. And you never miss an episode. So let's go ahead and kick this off. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Bam! Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Kaneem? Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
All is well. All is well. So today we're talking about what does being woke really mean, or just talking about the woke community. Because you remember back in the day, there was some brothers that they studied, like they was in the library, they had some information, and it's like, did you know? You was like, oh, I never knew that. And for the most part, you're just like, okay, they read a couple of books, read some things that you
Yeah.
never see, and you just like, oh, you kind of, and like, then you go to your parents, yo, did y'all know that pork,
Oh man. I remember, dude, when I freshman year in high school,
All right,
and we was just all into and hip hop had just exploded,
right, yes,
like
yes,
really exploded,
right,
and we was
right,
all in getting our knowledge up on Marcus
yes, sir.
Garvey, and we was going all hard on Malcolm X, and
Yes,
just going
yes,
back, listening to all trying to get up on how our parents and grandparents had the struggle they had to go through,
right,
and
right.
looking at the bus boycotts in Alabama, and we was just going in, didn't really know, just soaking all the information in, but wasn't
Yeah.
gonna use it for nothing but just knowledge, you know.
Just knowledge, you know it. You just know it. I know my stuff.
That's
Don't
it.
challenge me. Don't challenge me on my history.
That's it, man. That is it. And when X Clan came out,
Oh,
we was
oh
just
man.
blown away. Like, oh really? It's the red, the
The
black,
black
and the
and
green.
green. With the key. Sissy.
You know what I'm saying? So we was just all into it, man. I had my little African medallion, my little leather
Listen,
African
yes.
medallion might I
Yes.
add you. So
Yes.
yeah, we was into it real hard, man.
Yeah, I will say that was probably at least it was more conscious where we was getting rid of the gold chains and we at least trying to wear something, that symbolized something,
Yes, yeah. Everybody couldn't be rich. Everybody couldn't
right,
be Run DMC.
right,
Everybody
right,
couldn't, you know what I'm saying? So hey, we was
right,
just like, hey, let's do what we can do on our level. I
right.
mean, we was making our own leather bracelets and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Yes,
we had to do what we had to do.
yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Good morning, Pastor. How you
Good
doing,
morning.
sir?
Yes,
Good
sir. Yes,
morning. How
sir.
you
Good
doing?
morning. Good morning,
Good to
sir.
see you all. Happy Tuesday.
Happy
Yes,
Tuesday.
sir.
So y'all
Oh,
nice and woke.
oh yeah, yeah.
Hey,
But in
you mean that
oh,
two separate ways, I'm sure. And yes, which we are.
But yeah, so as I started off saying, like this conversation really started. You heard of Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi, I'm saying his name right. Dr.
who?
Sebi. Dr. Sebi or Dr. Sebi. Someone in the comments probably gonna correct me, but yeah.
Is this the young cat?
No.
That's okay, different dude.
He
I'm thinking about the young cat that be on the Breakfast Club all the time. But go ahead.
he was so Dr. Sebi, the rumor was that he had found a cure for AIDS.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
then there was a court battle that he had won, and people tied it to him finding the cure for AIDS. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, I really kicked this conversation because I was watching this guy on. He's called Pocket Watcher. He's Pocket Watching with JT. He is a certified accountant and certified tax specialist. Certified. So all he speaks is knowledge, and he goes through people's reaction and videos and gives you the real about when people get financial advice. He breaks it down. He tells you faults. He said, yeah, they're right about that. They're wrong about this, or they shouldn't tell you
Okay.
that. So he got on and he had a $10,000 challenge. And he got internet style. He took $100, $100, $10,000 and $100. He said, this is what I'm offering. And he started
Oh, okay.
going like literally he started going off. He said, if someone can come to me with real evidence that shows Dr. Sebi cured AIDS, you can have this 10 G's. He said, real evidence. He did. And this dude, like, he's at least up until now, like, I've watched him, and he's had like other big YouTubers that I've like come through, and like he's legit. And he was waiting, and he goes through. He said, I got thousands of emails, some of the same stuff. He said, but no concrete evidence. And they kept throwing this court case where Dr. Sebi went in and they were getting him on not malpractice, but for practicing medicine or practicing some kind of medicine. Now, caveat, I found out Dr. Sebi is not an official doctor. Like he's not licensed. He's not a medical doctor. So someone said, I don't know if you're a DJ Vlad that does those videos.
Yeah.
Basically, Dr. Sebi is credible, just like Dr. Dre.
So, yeah.
And DJ Vlad got in trouble, but his son, Pocket Watcher JT, he showed a video with his son, Dr. Sebi's son, saying the exact same thing. He was like, yeah, Dr. Sebi, Dr. Dre, same thing. Like he's no more of a doctor, So, and Pocket Watcher JT was like, I'm not saying that Dr. Sebi didn't offer good elixirs for your health and things like that. But as far as curing AIDS, he said, that's what I want, AIDS or cancer. Show me one of them. He's like, show me something, So and I'm in this because people always use that man's name. Always. Like, he is the truth. He's spouting a lot of knowledge. He's the man. And though he may know some things, but like, how much do we believe, right? That's one. And like I do lift, just for everybody to know, I do lift from time to time. And I had a young lady she had a mask on, but she was talking about how mask is killing us, and but no one ever gives sources.
Yeah.
Like, where you getting your information from? What doctor, medical school, or some researched industry has given you this information? Because some things just can seem like common sense, doesn't mean it's correct information. Like, I could feel like, you're wearing a mask a lot, there may be particles in it that you're getting, but unless it's researched, it's more of an opinion than truth. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, like we talked about the woke community, when you was conscious, there's certain things that we didn't know that we found out. Like, like the revelation when you find out Jesus is black, you're like, oh, Jesus is black. Like it says it in the word, the bronze hair, brown, You can't put us down, son. Jesus is black, So it's those moments.
Skin of bronze and hair of wool. Yeah, I got you.
Let's see. He said I knew a Dr. Sebi in California. It sounds like
that's
Sebi,
a different Dr. Sebi.
Yeah,
you're talking about the oncologist, but he's talking about a herbalist. So there's another Dr. Sebi in Southern California.
Yeah, this dude was a herbalist, and he had recently died. So of course, there's a whole bunch of the government took him out, conspiracy kind of thing going on. Because he was.
If it's that same guy, he's supposed to be real old, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I think I saw a video of him speaking or something like that.
Yeah,
he's an older. Yeah.
He's known, definitely known in our community. Like, he's been in it. He's been known for decades. Like I said, the whole AIDS thing. Because first I think he was tied to curing Magic Johnson's AIDS. I don't think Magic Johnson really cured. He just had the HIV or whatever. I think it's the HIV. It just didn't blow into full blown AIDS or whatever. However that worked. So because I think Farrakhan had touted he cured AIDS. I remember that from the Million Man March. So, You know,
Ah,
but when you hear from and at the time being younger, you hear from dudes like that, you're like, oh, you know, like they hiding the cure from us, you know. So I so I want to have this conversation because we all have heard people give information just like that sounds like that could be fact, but where's your information? You know, because there's certain correlations and causalities. Like, I hear you. Because the older you get, you realize, I hear you, but where's the facts at? You know, like, where's your research? Who said it? You know, because like I could like, I was watching ABC News and Dr. Fauci said such as it. Now, granted, you could be like, I don't know how much credibility I give him, but I can at least I'm citing a credible news source with a actual doctor. You know, like, and like I started at the beginning, like I know they say fake news, but these dudes are still held accountable for the information they give. You know, they say some off the rocker stuff. They get sued. You know, anchors get
yeah,
fired. You know, and we've seen that several times. Anchors get fired when they go too way off script, way off the rocker. It's like, we got to cut you off, dude, because you can't. you in fallacy land. You know, all these you got to go. You know,
yeah.
so talking about that, like, how do you feel about? Have you seen? Well, of course, I know you've seen it. like, what are some of the stuff that you've seen that you just like? How are these people coming up with this stuff? You know, because a lot of it is just, of course, it's the YouTubers and not everyone, but just people just spouting off half information they see and taking this half and say, take that half and I'll make that a fact. You know.
Yeah, man. When you said fake news, every time I hear that little tagline,
I know.
it throws me off
I
because
know.
I'm like the people who actually promoted that tagline
Right.
is the ones that's giving all this rhetoric. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like,
Right.
why are you promoting? I can't even call it a fallacy. But why are you promoting this venom of hate?
Right.
Because if it's all based on a lie, which is fake news,
Right. Right.
then that ain't nothing but hate. It can't be uplifting.
Right.
What fake news is uplifting?
Right. 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 Right.
So, but anyway, that's just my little. When you say fake news, it just triggered a little something. You know what I mean?
And sir, it's not lies, sir. It's alternative facts.
Uh,
Alternative facts.
a bunch of syllables for a lie. That's what that is.
Oh, Pastor, how do you have, what's your experience of like, have you had people even like personally or personally take information, put it together and create their own facts or narratives, and have you ever questioned like, what's your source? you know, where'd you
Absolutely.
where'd you get
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that kind of thing happens in life
that? Right.
all the time. I think you're talking about the people that have a larger amount of influence when they say something like that, because we deal with this stuff daily.
Right.
This folks lying around you all day long,
Right.
exaggerating,
Right.
blowing up their story.
Yeah.
It's I used to say when I was in the military, it's like I remember we had to do 6 jumps, right? To get your wings. At one point, 6 jumps became 12. I mean, seriously.
Wow.
Like, why? Why would you say that? Because it's enough to jump out of an airplane once.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Why would you have to increase it to make the story sound better?
Wow.
I guess my point is that we have to be careful about the things that we say. But to answer your question, yes, I have heard stuff and wanted to know, where did you hear that? What's the source for that? That's odd. That's an odd statement that you're making, and it contradicts how I see things.
Right.
When it contradicts your view, or your understanding, or your factual understanding of something, then you're going to challenge it.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Definitely.
Like the election was rigged.
Right.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, say that with a little bit more conviction.
Yeah, yeah. You hear something like that. We know that nothing is 100%.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
typically, you count and there's a winner and a loser.
Right.
I
Racism
agree.
is not an issue in America. What's
Right.
your source?
Right.
What,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I mean, here's how you have to look at it. Because people, you talk about Dr. Sebi.
Uh-huh.
Um, a lot of the things that he talks about, that he touts, may have worked for someone, and so for
Right.
him, this works.
Right. True.
But for the
Indeed.
first person that it doesn't work for, like, some people prefer ibuprofen over Tylenol. Does that mean Tylenol doesn't work?
Right.
It just means it didn't work for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we have to think about, things like that.
Yeah.
You call him God. I
Right.
call him Allah.
Right. Right.
Where's the common ground here?
Right.
And it causes, and so what I'm saying is, I get all of that, but yeah, I've heard some ridiculous things in my life
Uh,
that have
hey,
caused me to check some sources.
let me ask both of y'all, especially you, Brian, being that you truly a study of the Bible. I love I'm God fearing, but I can't quote scripture at all. So let me say this: do you guys remember a guy named Malachi York?
Oh,
Yeah,
that name sounds familiar. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I guess this was like early 2000s, something like that. He had this compound in Eatonton, Georgia. And a buddy of mine, the only reason I bring it up, a buddy of mine was following him real intensely. I mean,
Okay.
so, he was all going to he had some classes that was like twice a week. I think it was like Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the basis of all his religion, because that's what he called it, religion was,
Right.
it was
Right.
some aliens that came from outer space
Uh-huh.
and went to Africa by way of and he had holy scrolls, and I mean, like, he
Wow.
had a whole bunch of
Wow.
literature, like books and stuff like
Right.
this.
Right.
But anyway, my buddy was all into it, so he was always, every time we got together, he was trying to get us to go and do these
Of course.
classes, and man, y'all
Of
should
course.
go see it, this, that, and third. And this was like 2 or 3 years now.
Right.
And at this point, like, I wasn't going to church, but I knew God was covering me.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
I knew God was covering me, but I wasn't, fellowshipping.
In
Right.
fellowship, yeah.
So
Right.
anyway, come to find out, and we all making fun of him because every time we together, and that was in my days when I was still real party hard, right? So
Okay. Okay.
anyway, come to find out, the FBI, DEA, ATF, everybody go down there and raid the compound.
Wow.
He is sex trafficking young girls from New York,
Wow.
Chicago to
Wow.
Charlotte. I mean, like, all this, right?
Right.
They got him on. They got him on racketeering and conspiracy charges and all this and all that. And my buddy was heartbroken to the point where he was so depressed because
Oh.
we was literally telling him for years, like,
Right.
dude, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? You spending money on buying all this stuff from this guy you don't know, and you can go back and look. You can read. He go back 30, 40 years, and it was true. The dude did go back 30 or 40 years of sex trafficking.
Oh man.
I mean, it was crazy, man. Cause and he had went to the Eaton for like I guess it was like a what would they call that? It's not a I guess it would be a camp, like a boot
Okay.
camp or something like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So he
Okay.
went down there for a few days, and they got like little pyramids down there, and
Wow.
little temple, little small temples. And I don't know
Right.
if they got it down there now, but
Yeah.
they had all this on the news when they
I
went and
got
raided the
you.
company.
I got you. I got you.
And I was like, man, I said, don't you feel kind of foolish? Hey, now, mind you, this dude had heart. Now, this wasn't no soft brother. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. 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 Yeah.
And to see this brother break down in tears, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, I said, boy, you put your heart and soul in this
He
man,
did.
and
He
he
had.
wasn't.
He was
He
all
believed
in.
this with
Yeah,
all his
that's
heart.
faith.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, boy, I sure feel bad. But when Only reason I brought that up is that he wasn't woke.
Yeah.
He fell into a cult. That's
Right.
what I call it.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
fell
And
into a
they
cult and was brainwashed by the dream that he wanted to go to outer space. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, come on, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe in some of that
right,
because it ain't explained.
right,
But I mean, but they're gonna come and pick you and take you to outer space because because you drinking some type of elixir that this dude Malachi York then concocted. I was like, oh, that's a bit far fetched. But anyway, I just brought that up when
that's
because
it.
when you think about people being under a spell, well, I can't even call it spell,
Still, they
just
just
not having an understanding
yeah,
of
yeah.
reality.
It's you kind of once you really believe it, like I get you into space, I get you read a couple of books, and I can shift your mindset and just make you see things that you never really thought about. With the correlation, like I take a little bit
Yeah,
of your reality and say, you remember when such and such happened, and then you remember when you're like, yeah, 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 and I mean, it slowly draw you in, and then so everything I begin to speak seems true. I mean, it could happen. Stuff like that kind of happens in church where they kind of shift your mind because you believe in your leader. Like
yeah,
that's my leader. I'm all in, 100% all in. He can't do no wrong. He or she can't do no wrong. And you get and like I said, if there's books like I believe a lot of time, and I know population probably don't read as much, but books are the best ways to persuade people. Like I always think about Obama. He became president because he had those books. He had everything dirty that you was gonna find out was in those books. So now you can read it. He can explain everything. This is where I was at. This is what was going on. You're like, oh, hey, he smoked a little weed. Like it was able to for people to eat it in smaller bites. Like so you start reading people's books. You're like, yeah, I hear you on that. That makes sense. I
yeah.
granted it's disheartening when like, come on, Kaneem, this thing is like mind blowing. You just need to come to these meetings.
And he was actually recruiting real hard though,
Right,
man. Like really,
right.
like I mean, like he
I'm
had
trying to
all the
save your
literature.
life.
Yeah, he was trying to give it out, and I was like, "Come on, man, it ain't gonna work, dude. I'm not. I mean, I guess if I was looking for something,
Right, 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 right,
and I was searching,
right,
maybe I would have been drawn into
right,
it. But I wasn't. That wasn't what I was. I was good. That's one thing about me. I
right,
love me some me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna definitely, I'm gonna definitely put my best foot forward to make sure I'm good. And I'm like, dude, you trying to make sure this man good. You going and you campaigning, you hitting the martyr bus, and you on the train handing out these pamphlets, and you going all over here trying to get out everybody to come on. Yeah, be down here at on Lowry and Ashby Street at 7 p.m. And y'all, I said, man, I don't mind walking with you, but I ain't handing out that damn pamphlet. Hey, it was crazy, man. It was crazy, but that was my dog. You know what I'm saying? That was
right,
my dude.
right, right. Oh man, that's good though. That was good. Yeah, I and coming, you just that's when you feel like you've been enlightened. You've been woke. You've been privy to some information that y'all don't really know what's going on. You don't know. Let me tell you about this coronavirus. Let me tell you the depth of what's happening with this coronavirus. I was watching my man. He was saying, and you take and what I realized, like I think I spoke about this some months ago. I've watched some guys and I realized how they kind of suck you in because I take a news article and then I take another news article and then these are facts and then I say, but if you look at them, this is how it kind of comes together like this, and you look like, I see how that ties together, like,
Mm.
and I realize, and then they take you down a narrative. You're like, wait a minute, whoa, wait, how did we get all the way down here? Like you started with facts, and then you kind of mesh in your opinion a little bit, just a little bit more,
Yep.
just a little bit, and and I and it took me a while to really realize this is what a lot of guys do. A lot of people do. You know, they mess the facts because they hit you with, hey, did you know 23% of black men are such and such? And do you know 44? You know, when people hit you with statistics, you're like, oh, you did a little work.
Yeah. But you don't know where they pull those statistics from, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That too.
yeah, 23% of black men are come from a one parent home.
Right. Right.
But then you think about it, you didn't pull this information from Buck Tussle, Mississippi, because but if you go from a nationally,
Right.
you got one little city that may have a population of 1,000 people, and you're gonna say 23%,
right,
and make it the law. Come on, man.
Right. Oh, so have you had any of those kind of situations, Pastor, where someone jumped into a religious experience and tried to get you in?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you got to think, you know, being in ministry and going and training and schooling, people are always wanting to change your perspective, alter your perspective.
Gotcha.
Right. They want to pull you into their angle. Right. But it's funny. My mother's on here. My mom worked at the YWCA many, many years ago in Kankakee, Illinois, when I was a little boy. And I'll never forget one day. And it was a preschool. They had a preschool in there. And one day they sat probably 10 or 12 children in a circle. You know, you're thinking, oh man, they're getting ready to play Duck, Duck, Goose.
Right.
And it was a lesson about starting a rumor.
Oh.
What they did was they sat them all in a circle. Mom, you remember this. And my mother whispered in one child's ear.
Right.
She told her a secret. And she told her to tell the next child.
Right.
Told that child to tell the next child. And by the time it got to the last child, it was a totally different story. Right? Like this, I'm like, this is what she was teaching 6-year-olds,
right?
5-year-olds,
right?
You know,
right?
50 years ago,
right?
And people are still falling for it 50 years later,
right? Right.
You know,
yeah.
and that's what happens in this world. You know, we don't get we get one piece of information, we take it, we color it up, and it becomes something totally different.
Right.
And then when and if you go back and ask the original person, they're saying I was misquoted.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
99. Well, I'm gonna say 99, but I'm saying, and I like because somebody quote me 99% of the time, you know.
Fact check.
But in most cases, by the time the message reaches the masses, it's been misquoted.
Yes.
You know, and so isn't that what happens with the scripture?
Right.
It's the same Bible, preached all over the world, but isn't it amazing how everybody's got a different story?
Yes,
indeed. Man, yeah.
Yes, indeed. What's up, Rich? Oh, yeah, that is true. The people changing, you know, stories and changing the narrative and what you hear. It's funny, like I remember when you know, you ever get a name or you see a face, you're like, why can't I remember his name? Like I can know somebody said the name 1,000 times, but when I need it, Black Panther, what's his name? Black Panther, the star from Black Panther that passed away.
Oh man.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of my mouth.
So they were trying to.
Thanks for the assist, Kaneem.
they're trying to you know, drum up this conspiracy about, you know, him selling his soul. He didn't have cancer. You know, they coming to get his soul back. You know, he only had a little bit of time. So he did an interview about not Infinite Wars, but the Marvel comic thing, you know, when they were coming together, and they were asking him about the second movie. And he was like, I'm dead. You know, like I'm dead in the movie. So I can't answer what's going on. But someone took a clip, was like, I'm dead. You know, and was saying that he knew he was gonna die.
Oh yeah.
And the funny part was when I seen the person posted it, you know, the clip or whatever, I was like, that don't seem right. So I did the research. I found a full video I put it in the comments like, this is the full video. He was talking about Marvel Comics. He was talking about the movie, and he dead, and he's not gonna be there. Like, of course, no answer. But I was like, how do people just and everyone was running with like, see what we talking about? See, this is it. I was like, that don't seem right. And I don't know. It blows my mind that because I'm to the point for the most part, like I'm open to at least listen. Like I got hard facts. You got stuff that you've been in this game. I'm 45. I'm at least 30 years, 20 years in on certain information that is like this. You're not about to change my mind on this. But if you present some facts, I'm like, maybe, maybe I was wrong all these years. Like I'm willing to at least kind of listen to certain things. And because research, you find out certain things were good, certain things were like, yeah, we shouldn't have been doing, but at least be open to at least listen to certain things when it comes to, the world and like, how you always knew certain things to be. You're just like, oh, I never thought about it like that, and I think people just get so stuck on what they want to know. If people looking, because on YouTube, I can find any thought I have, I can find some people to back it up. Just about anything, I digging it hard enough. I can find some YouTubes. Hey, let me tell you that gravity's false. Like, I'm sure I can find a bunch of YouTubes that say why gravity's false. I have diagrams of, and I show y'all like, look, I got 15 YouTubes that's backing up my information, right? You said your memory is incredibly accurate, Pastor.
My mom will call me after we're done and be like, I can't believe you remember that.
Oh man.
Oh man, let's see. Oh man, but yeah, so it's definitely, I don't know, it's funny how people just hold on to, when they want to believe something, they're just gonna hold on to it. No matter what you say, no matter what facts you present, they just want to hold on to it. And I think
isn't that the power of influence? If I can reach you where you are,
right,
I own you.
Right.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's why Chicago Bears fans are mad today. Because Aaron Rodgers said, I own you. I've always owned you. They mad because he's 22-5 against the Chicago Bears. He owns them. He's been beating them since he's been in the league. But that was an inside joke. My point is, if I learn you,
right,
and I meet you where you are,
right,
then my influence over you, right? See, there's a Green Bay Packers fan. They mad. If I can meet you where you are, my influence is that much more potent.
Right.
The Kardashians aren't good at anything but talking about themselves.
Right.
But they are the example of the power of influence.
Right.
Yeah. They are the goats of influence.
Yeah. And so is Donald Trump.
Yeah. Indeed.
Indeed. We don't even like the term, but we keep repeating the term fake news.
Right. But
knowing that it comes from an absolutely jacked up source.
Right.
Yeah.
We still quote him.
Right. We do.
Alternative
facts,
the power of influence is real.
Yeah.
And that's what we fall for. And that's why it's so important to really, really have those unchangeable fundamental truths in your life. That's why we have to train up our children the way that they should go, as the Bible says, so that when they get old, they won't depart from it.
Right.
I tell my children all the time, I can't make you a believer.
Right. Yeah.
I can only show you the example of what God has done in my life. And then you have to choose, you have to decide for yourself. But if you have questions, let's have a conversation about it. And then you decide, because your decision has to be how you feel, not based on what I'm telling you.
Right. Yeah.
That way it can be unchanged. That's the only way it can be unchanged, because someone comes into your life with more influence than me.
Right.
At some point, there's going to be somebody.
Yeah.
And they can change your mindset.
Yes.
You know, and that could be a very dangerous thing. You got to know that you know that you know, as the old folks used to say.
Right.
Know that you know that you
Yeah.
know.
Right.
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 Um,
Right.
and that's what we're up against.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk, I mean, from finance,
Right.
you know, 2 + 2 is always going to be 4.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Always.
Right.
Always.
So
Not
when
if you,
somebody
They
not if
are.
you
comes
black,
They are
telling you,
not.
I can
2
make it,
+
I
2
can make it
equals -5.
oh, then there's some trickery in there,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I mean, these are things that you like. These are fundamental truths that you have to know,
Yeah.
that you have to understand, so that you don't get caught up in that stuff. Because the topic today is what is being woke, but there is a term called being fake woke,
Right.
Mm.
Right.
right? There are
Yeah,
people
tell
walking
them.
around here with influence,
Yeah.
pretending to be woke,
Yep.
but are pulling you into deceit.
Yep. Yes.
That sound
But if
like
you
that
don't
sound
know,
like Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if
Some
you don't
some
know,
look
you're
like
gonna be
us.
had.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you
You're right
gotta.
about that. There are some people of color that just trying to get at it for $1, man,
Yeah.
and will sell their soul for a few
Yeah.
coins. And
Yeah.
I can't say that I know them personally. They only come on my screen, but it's still a shame. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
I mean, so here's the thing: you got to ask yourself, am I more interested in the person or the message?
Right.
Right? Because you were saying to Kaneem earlier, you were like, man, you got to come hear this dude. You got to come hear this dude. You got to come hear this dude. You know,
Yeah, it was all about it. It was all about the
right?
person.
If this dude is that real, how come you can't carry the same message?
Right. Right.
Right?
Because
So,
wasn't nobody listening.
yeah, I'm like, it has to hit you, and you become the disciple. If you're not a disciple, then how good is the message? I can tell you how good Jesus is.
Right.
I can
Right.
tell
Yeah.
you what the Lord has done for me.
Right.
I can tell you
Uh,
that. I'm not going to win you to Christ telling you how good I am.
Right. That's true. Right.
I'm
Speak it.
just saying, I'm like, it's not my stuff that's going to make you.
Right.
So if you're caught up in me, then you've already made the mistake.
Right.
It can't be me. It has to be the message. It has to
Oh,
be
that's
the
good.
change. So I'm saying, if you want to be woke, it's the walk.
Right.
What are you living?
Right.
What are you walking in? And to your point, Kaneem, yeah, a lot of people out here are making a lot of money, and the money's coming to them.
Right.
And the people that are feeding them all that money are still sitting in the same position they were sitting in a year ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
Right.
Nothing. Even if you was paying them money, and there's still no inspiration. The whole inspiration is to go in your pocket,
Right.
get online, and send me some cash. That's
I
the
learned,
inspiration.
okay, here's what I have. Here's $100. That's a $100 bill, right?
Right.
I have $100 for someone who has been following Kevin Samuels, and your life is better.
Ooh.
You show me
Ooh.
that your life is better.
I can't even tell you who is Kevin Samuels.
You don't know Kevin Samuels?
I have no
Wow.
clue who Kevin Samuels is.
Listen, I'm not trying to take anything away from him.
Yeah.
I'm saying the
Your life.
message. I want to know that the message has been a blessing to your life, and now you're in a quality relationship for all
Yes.
the right reasons.
Right. Quality relationship.
Because
We need
you
verification
listened
from
to
your
Kevin Samuels.
your significant other.
Right. So
Oh,
you
okay.
and your significant
Yeah,
other
don't just
tell
say
me
you. That's right.
that
You got
Kevin
$100
Samuels
on it.
brought y'all together, and y'all
Right.
working is working. Y'all got a future together because of the information, the content that he has been putting out. I got dinner's on me.
You got
Oh,
100. I got
okay.
$5, so that's 105.
Yeah, well, I won't be partaking in any of that cash because I don't know who he is.
He talks about the high value man. I
Yes.
want to know who he has helped,
Yes.
Okay.
and I need validation of your relationship.
He said him. Oh, okay. You don't need to listen. Yeah. Dr. Rollo was like telling her, Canadian good. You don't need to listen to him.
Because he's making money. He got a whole lot of followers. He's just growing.
Yeah, he is. He's growing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
And again, I'm not hating. Not hating. I just want to know. Right.
Yeah. So quality relationship. So we're putting it out there.
Messaging.
I might cut this out and put this out there.
Yeah.
105. Show me. I got to see both of y'all.
Yeah.
Quality.
Gotcha.
Oh man.
Hey man, did y'all see the? Did y'all see the? I know I'm late to the party, but I'm asking y'all. Did y'all see the Dave Chappelle on Netflix?
Yes.
No.
That me and the wife had just saw it this weekend, and I would say Dave kind of put a little a light switch in my head about the transgender community because I never really thought about it.
Right.
I don't know nobody that's transgender.
Right.
I've never socialized with nobody that's transgender. So I never had no thoughts about it, good or bad.
Right.
But when Dave was talking about he's a feminist, and the way that he worded it, I was like, well, I guess I might be a feminist too.
The way he defined it,
yeah. The way he was, it was. I see what the controversy was about, but I also see that Dave had both feet to stand on. It's only controversial for the people who it's like a hit dog or holler. It's only controversial for the folks who he was specifically speaking to.
And all right. I know people may not have seen it. It's definitely check it out. Yes, I am advertising it. It's interesting. Even if you're not really a big Dave Chappelle fan, it's really good. It's interesting. I'm gonna reiterate. I'm gonna say what the Breakfast Club has said as well. There's some other insults he threw in there. There's some other groups, especially the Chinese. They the ones that should be mad at that special. Some of his perspectives. I don't think the trans has as much as some other groups should be upset. But he
did jab at the Jews. He jabbed at the Jews. He jabbed at the Chinese.
But what I'm saying, the jokes. They were jokes. They were
jokes. I just think he stayed on the transgender from the time he started to the time he finished.
I guess.
You know, so I mean, he may have snapped his fingers at the Jews.
Yeah.
He may have snapped his fingers at
coronavirus. It's correlation between that was.
But see, that's the thing. You know, I think what happens is
his perspective was fair. Yeah, definitely.
We forget that Dave Chappelle is an entertainer.
Right.
Dave Chappelle is a comedian. Right. I am not going to measure the social pulse in my life off Dave Chappelle.
Of a comedian, right?
Right. If I'm gonna watch Dave Chappelle, I'm gonna watch him for entertainment value.
And it was entertaining.
Right. That's it.
And so what I'm saying is when all this stuff happens, I'm just, AD, you said it earlier. Check the source. Right. Who is the source? The source is a comedian.
Right.
An entertainer.
Right. All the outrage has just pushed him up even further. Like,
right.
About to get 10 more Netflix specials. That was supposed to be his last.
Yeah.
But someone will take his messaging because of his influence, and his messaging because of his influence becomes gospel.
Right. Yeah.
Because of the power of influence.
Yes. Right.
Right. And that's where we get into trouble because you don't have stable, fundamental truths in your life.
Right.
Which is what wrecks our society. Yes. That's exactly the point that has to be made because that's where we struggle.
Damon Wayans called him the Moses of comedy. He set us free from PC.
Dude was cracking up though, man. I mean, you had to see it. You had to see it.
I've heard, but I hadn't seen it, but only because I just have not turned the TV on and it was on.
Right.
Dave Chappelle entertains me. He's hilarious.
Right. Yeah. So yeah,
Uh,
it's
Paul Mooney,
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. Oh yeah,
oh
But
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
going
he
grade
is
society based on Paul Mooney.
right. I mean,
Oh
that's
no,
Not
no,
gonna do
no,
it.
no, no,
that's
no.
another dude that takes a lot of shots. I remember he was at an award ceremony and started talking about Diana Ross and her daughter was sitting right there in the audience, and I
Yeah,
was like, oh,
yeah.
he's
He ain't got no shit. Hey,
no,
don't matter.
he
But
never
he's an
did,
entertainer,
right?
Yeah,
you know.
he,
Oh
he
man,
was straightforward. His comedy, but it was funny though.
Yeah.
Whether she was in the audience or not, you cringe because you saw on camera.
right,
But if you would have never saw, you'd have been laughing just like everybody else.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, so yeah, we're about to wrap it up. Oh, what do you guys think of Chris Rock? Because Chris Rock was kind of the same. He always takes shots, especially when he get on
Yeah,
awards. When he hosts award shows,
yeah.
he never held his tongue. He just kind
No.
of just said everything. Oh, so we appreciate you guys for rocking with us and hanging with us. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy, the woke edition. So we want you to stay woke, stay conscious, keep your mind straight, my brothers and sisters. Make sure you contemplate the collective of your mindset. No, I'm just playing. All right, so we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday. I might be doing something different Wednesday. So just stay connected, stay tuned. Might do a little switch up on you, but we will be here. May not be live, but we will be here. All right. So we look forward to seeing you. Same time, same channel. As always, know that we love you. God loves you more. Continue to stay safe. Wear the mask. Stay 6 feet. Do the vaccine if you like. So it's your choice. And that is all. Oh, enjoyed the new brother. It's Kaneem. He's been on a couple times. He's a cousin. This is a cousin, a legacy right now.
Kaneem Gervais, Mom. He's not
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Auntie.
All right, guys. We see you in the AM. Stay safe, guys. Just stay safe. All right. Oh, and rest in peace to Colin Powell. Rest in peace, Colin.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Educate your kids about Colin Powell.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. See you in the AM. As always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe. Thank you guys for hanging, being Make sure to sharing is caring. All of my replay peoples that watch in the background that I know see this show, I appreciate.